Hello everyone, how are you doing? As a new mom, I know you might be wondering how to manage your newborn's life, and that's why you need to watch this video. Let's dive right into today's topic. Super bonding with your newborn. According to current research, this is how your newborn sees the world. A blurry and poorly vision. They are out of focus on images, dulled colors, with muted sounds and sensations. So, how do you connect with someone who is so disconnected from the physical world, and how do you provide the proper stimulation to help their brains grow and adapt? In today's video, I'm going to show you some fun and easy ways to both stimulate and connect with your 0 to 3-month-old baby. Not only do these activities encourage the brain growth in your child, they will also provide opportunities for you bonding and learning about the world together. So, let's hop into it and learn some ways to play with your newborn baby. One of the easiest and possibly most important ways to connect with your baby is to offer them some face time. No, not that kind. This basically means to get close to them and allow them to study your face. The latest studies show that babies begin to recognize and distinguish between faces long before they can distinguish different shapes or patterns in their environment. They can focus on parts of faces near to them. And so, by allowing your baby time to study your face, not only do they familiarize themselves with you, but you begin to stimulate parts of their brain that are associated with their visual experience and their perceptual abilities. This also helps them to later be able to differentiate relevant social information like emotions and feelings. Newborns as young as a few days old can begin to mimic some of your facial expressions as well. One of the best fun games is to get more closer to your newborn and stick your tongue out repeatedly and slowly, and they should begin to stick their tongue out back at you as well. As they start to get a little older, you can also mimic their sounds and facial expressions back to them, and you might even get a laugh. Another important aspect of infant development is gaining spatial awareness. You can encourage this by simply allowing your newborn to stretch out on an open blanket on the floor or in their crib. Give them uninterrupted time to recognize and study their hands and the ways that their arms and legs move. This helps them to develop the neural pathways necessary for controlled movements, recognizing spatial concepts like distance, and may even play a role in their learning abilities later on in life. So give your newborn space and time to stretch. Another way to play with your newborn is to narrate your day to them. Show them different rooms in your home. Talk to them about what you're doing or what they are seeing, and let them listen in on your good conversations with other family members. All these activities have been shown to increase children's IQ and their vocabulary range as they get older. You can also encourage development in your newborn's language center by initiating in conversations where you give your child time to respond to your questions. Do you have a lot to say? You can laugh when you say it and give them time to respond. Oh, really? Is that why you won't take a nap? Yeah, that's why you won't nap, because you have a lot to talk about. You have to pretend your response naturally. Another way to encourage communication is to begin signing with your baby. The newborn phase is, honestly, an excellent time to introduce sign language for frequent activities like changing the diaper or nursing. You know, many newborns actually stop crying during diaper changes because you always tell them and show them what you are about to do, so they know what to expect. Signs are amazing tools that eventually allow your child to communicate with you long before they can speak, so it's a good idea to start practicing now. Around 5 weeks of age, your baby will go through their first developmental leap, and they'll start to notice contrasts and shadows, so just give them some time to really study these as you encounter them around your home. Going back to the example of the newborn vision, it's easy to see why so many newborn toys have black and white, high contrast images on them. Even with the most obscured vision, you can still pick out the high contrast image. If you don't have any black and white newborn toys laying around, you can also make your own by using a card or a piece of paper and just coloring an obscured black and white image on it. Or you can print some out online. There's lots of websites that you can find them. Studying these types of images encourages your newborn's brain development in several areas, and they can also be used to encourage visual tracking as they are highly interesting to your newborn. Here's another high contrast game that your child will love. Shine a flashlight on the wall in a darkened room and make shadow puppets and watch as their eyes light up. Don't use the light with rainbow colors. They can be confusing for a newborn. Also, around 5 or 6 weeks, your baby will begin to exhibit their first social smiles, so be sure to pull out all the stops to get your baby to laugh or smile at your antics. Around this time, your baby can also pick up on different types of music, so it's a good idea to put some on in the background and let them listen while they're stretching out. Or maybe even pick up your child and go for a dance around your living room or your kitchen. They really enjoy this activity. Around 7 weeks, your baby will also start to recognize patterns. So be ready to give them lots of times to study the various patterns that you encounter throughout your day. Another skill that emerges around 7 or 8 weeks is the ability to grasp and hold onto a toy. You can encourage this behavior by offering your baby a small rat paddle or some of these little teething rings. They offer unique textures and they're easy and lightweight for baby to pick up and hold onto. Also, after this mental leap, your baby will begin to clearly recognize different facial expressions. So, going back to giving them lots of face time, make sure that you make some exaggerated expressions and give them time to study your face. Lastly, it's important to note that babies learn so much about their environment through their sense of touch. You can encourage this learning and growth by offering your baby a lot of unique sensory experiences throughout their day. Here's one of the sensory games that newborns like. By raising and lowering a blanket over your baby, kind of like a peekaboo game. Newborns just love it. Sometimes you can drop it on their belly so your child can feel the different weights of their blanket, and sometimes you can just brush it across their face. They think this game is so much fun. Another way to offer your newborn some sensory experiences is just to grab a few different unique items from your home and let your baby grasp them or show them to them. You can pick any item that has a soft surface, but, doesn't pose a choking hazard, and let them scratch on its surface. Items like citric fruits, which have a really strong smell, work well for this. They'll get really interested in this kind of item, and honestly, we'll follow it all around. Another great tool for sensory engagement are these sensory books that they make for babies. They have different fabrics or textures on the pages. This is great because not only does it give you an opportunity to read to your child, it also gives them a lot of different textures that they can experience, and it's all put together for you. Those first 3 months are filled with change. Your baby's brain will be growing at such a rapid rate. They'll be becoming more alert by the day, and honestly, it can feel like they're literally growing in front of your eyes. And while the days are a blur of naps, feedings, and diaper changes, I hope you'll find some time to play with your baby. I also wanted to note that whenever you're playing with your child, make sure you're looking for signs that they're not overtired. In case, if they're sneezing or if they're looking away from you and they're yawning or closing their eyes, those are signs that they could be overstimulated or overtired and they're not really in the mood to play. So, this is it about your newborn 0 to 3. I hope you're enjoying weekend and this video as well. So here you have it on how to play with your 0 to 3 months old baby. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe and click that bell notification button, because more of this video will be coming your way. On my next video, I will be talking about 3 to 6 months old baby and down to your baby's first year. I wouldn't want you to miss out on any future videos. And until next time...